Hey everybody, this is Ennis.
What's up? It's Jim.
And we're Inner Solutions.
Hey.
Today we're going to try to show you a very, very powerful technique to stop panic attacks in the long term. A lot of what you might see out there when it comes to panic attacks is short-term solutions. The CBD oils, the different pills, the different lavender oils, all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying anything negative about those things, but in our experience, having gone through panic attacks ourselves and having helped many people go through panic attacks, we've seen that long-term solutions are really a different breed when it comes to what you can do to stop this. So one of the long-term solutions that we're going to share today involves confronting the panic attack and inviting it in. So please watch the video. If you can, this might be challenging to practice, but once you get the hang of it, I assure you, you'll start to notice that your relationship to the anxiety and the panic is completely different. Ultimately, this is what worked for me when I had panic attacks on a daily basis. This is what worked for me to stop having it. And this is what's worked for so many of our clients. Please stay tuned.
It's super counterintuitive what we're about to tell you to do, but it's a huge, huge tool that works the majority of the time. So basically what we're going to tell you to do is when you're having a panic attack, when you have these initial sensations, people might tell you to start breathing. We advocate for that too. Or they might tell you to grab some lavender oil or some kind of sensory soothing tool. Well, the key to stopping the panic attack, breaking that feedback loop, is to release resistance. And there's no better way to release the resistance than to go from the defensive and reactive to the offensive and reactive. Now, this is something that Ennis and I both did to sustainably get over our panic attacks. What we did was we got to a place where we got so sick and tired of being the kind of victim or being reactive to these panic attacks to where we challenged the panic. And it sounded kind of iffy at first. It felt like a big risk. What we were doing is basically challenging these panic attacks to take us over, to take us out, to make us go crazy, to kill us, to intensify these symptoms and just make all the fears that we had that fed into that feedback loop come true. And what we found was it didn't.
Of course.
It didn't.
You're safe.
It doesn't kill you.
So this is really paradoxical. It's kind of counterintuitive because when you have a panic attack, every instinct in your body is saying, run away from this, run away, get away from the danger. I'm going to die. I'm going to go crazy. Something bad's going to happen. These are the thoughts that are going through your mind, and it makes you want to be a victim and kind of cower in fear from the panic. And what happens for a lot of people is the panic attack is so scary that they start to become afraid of the next one. And they are afraid of even situations that might cause the panic attack. So they start to avoid situations on top of that. And this is just one big cycle of fear. And when you really start to break it, what happens is you gain your power back. And what we're inviting you to do here now is actually a form of taking your power back. So instead of running away, we want to encourage you, the next time that you have a panic attack, stand your ground. So this is a really, for some people, it can be challenging because, again, every instinct in you is saying back down, run away, something bad's going to happen. But what you want to look at is all the times in the past that you survived the panic attack, all the times that nothing ever happened. In the end, whenever you have a panic attack, it's always the same story playing out. It's scary. It feels like something bad's going to happen. And then in the end, you're okay. And you're always going to be okay because this is just a fear response. This is just thoughts in your mind. So as you go through this, you develop a certain trust. I'm going to be okay. I know that I'm going to be okay. And because of that, you kind of call the bluff of the mind. That is the best analogy that I can give for this. The mind is just bluffing. It's saying, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something, and you're saying, okay, do it. Let's see what happens. It's a very almost confident, cocky kind of stance that you take, where you're like, come at me. Let's see what you got. because I'm tired of running. I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I'm tired of this taking over my life. So come on, let's see what you got. Give me your best shot.
The natural inclination of these parts of your mind that are telling you like, oh God, like we're having, our heart rate's wrong or this is wrong. What you're doing is it's the natural inclination to be like, let's get away from this or resist this or push this away or run away, like Ennis was saying. And so what you're doing by challenging that panic to take you over is you're helping those parts of you to see, hey, these symptoms do have a ceiling. They're not going to get any worse than XYZ. And we can tell that because we're telling them to do it and they're just not able to do it. So like Ennis said, you're basically standing up to the bully. So if this sounds like a strategy that works for you, just apply it. It's not going to be a one-time deal. You will have to practice it, and it will be very, very scary at first because you are going against your kind of self-preservation inclination. But we promise you that this is going to play a big part in you getting over anxiety and panic attacks as far as making them more palatable and having more confidence to deal with them.
What you might notice that happens is basically as you start to invite the panic in and you stand your ground and you say, give me your best shot, let's see what you got. For that first 5 to 10 seconds, it might feel like it's getting worse. Like, oh no, it's starting to do it. It's starting to happen. Something bad's going to happen. But what if you can just stay with it?
Hold your nerve. That's all you got to do is hold your ground. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to make you go crazy. It's not going to make you lose control.
If you can just do that, if you can just hold your ground and trust, you're going to be fine. You're going to make it through just like all the other times. What happens very quickly is the sensations peak. The intensity, as Jim was saying, they have a ceiling. They peak and they can't get more intense. So you find yourself in an interesting situation where you're like, well, go ahead, get more intense. Let's see what you got. And the sensations have reached their peak, so they're not getting worse. So it can still feel pretty uncomfortable, but it's not getting worse at that point. And that's when you kind of know you've won that battle. And you can say to yourself, okay, I guess I have told you to try it. I've said, come on, and looks like you're bluffing, so I'm going to go on about my day. And you just go on about your day, knowing that you just stood up to your bully. You did it. You really did it. It's such a victory when you really think about it. And what happens is you may have to fight that battle a few times before you really have the confidence that I can stand up to this. So when you experience that victory a few times, you break the feedback loop. From now on, you're less afraid of the next panic attack. And you're just less and less and less afraid of the next panic attack. And as that confidence starts to build in you, the panic attacks steadily go away entirely. So this is a method that worked for me. It's worked for many of the people we've coached. And if you can just give it a try a few times, don't give up. We strongly believe that it can work for you too.
It's important to know you will actually naturally get to this point if your panic attacks are going on for long enough. You will get to a point where you're so sick of them and you're so sick of being afraid of them that you just say, the hell with this. Like, just go ahead, take me out. What we're trying to do is press fast forward to get you to more relief sooner. So just remember too, no matter how bad your panic attacks are, no matter how long you've been having them, no matter how intense they are, you're never, ever stuck. You might just need some support. So if you want more information, please check out our page. You can like and subscribe. Our email is in the description below. If there's anything we can do for you as far as sharing some resources with you or guiding you to what your next steps are, reach out to us through email or the comments below. And for Ennis, I'm Jim. Thank you guys so much, and good luck with your panic attacks.